What is going on, Pretender here, back with another Honkai Star Off guide, and today I'm here with the full build guide for one of the characters they'll be rewriting in the second half of 3.0, being Robin. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you over Kin Eidolons, then I'll be taking you over best Lightcone options, followed by that will be best Relic sets and Planar Ornaments, and then finally the Mainstat and Substat recommendations. I plan on having a full build guide for every 3.0 character that is both new or rerunning. I have one out for the entire first half of 3.0 already, so for a new character being Herta, you can check that out. All three rerun characters, so Feixiao, Feixiao, and Jade are also all available. You can check that out as well. And as for the second half, I have one out for Aglia, Fruithill, and you are now watching Robin, and there will soon be one for Silverwolf. That's all I want to say before I get into the video. If you guys find this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star Off content. Check the description to check out my second channel and also to join the Discord, and let's get straight into the video. So Robin is a physical character following the path of harmony. Her basic attack deals physical damage equal to 100% of Robin's attack to a single target enemy. Her skill increases damage dealt by all allies by 50%, lasting for 3 turns. This duration decreases by 1 at the start of Robin's every turn. For ultimate, Robin enters the Concerto state and makes all teammates excluding this unit immediately take action. While in the Concerto state, increases all allies attack by 22.8% of Robin's attack plus 200. Moreover, after every attack by ally targets, Robin deals physical additional damage equal to 120% of her attack for 1 time, with a fixed crit rate for this damage set at 100% and a fixed crit damage set at 150%. While in the Concerto state, Robin is immune to crowd control debuffs and cannot enter her own turn or take action until the Concerto state ends. A Concerto countdown appears on the action order bar. When the countdown's turn begins, Robin exits the Concerto state and immediately takes action. The countdown has its own fixed speed of 90. Her talent increases all allies crit damage by 20%. Moreover, after allies attack enemy targets, Robin additionally regenerates 2 energy for herself. The technique: after using technique, create a special dimension around the character that lasts for 15 seconds. Enemies within this dimension will not attack Robin and will follow Robin while the dimension is active. After entering battle while the dimension is active, Robin regenerates 5 energy at the start of each wave. Only one dimension effect created by allies can exist at the same time. For her bonus traces, her A2, when the battle begins, action advances this character by 25%. Her A4, while the Concerto state is active, the crit damage dealt when all allies launch follow-up attacks increases by 25%, and her A6, when using skill, additionally regenerates 5 energy. For Eidolons, her E1, while the Concerto state is active, all allies all-type res pen increases by 24%. Her E2, while the Concerto state is active, all allies speed increases by 16%. The talent's energy regeneration effect additionally increases by 1. Her E4, when using the ultimate, dispels crowd control debuffs from all allies, while Robin is in the Concerto state, increases the effect res of all allies by 50%. And her E6, while the Concerto state is active, the crit damage for the physical additional damage caused by the ultimate increases by 450%. The effect of Moonless Midnight can trigger up to 8 times, and the trigger count resets each time the ultimate is used. Taking a look at the best Lightcone options for Robin, her best one is obviously going to be her own signature Lightcone, which for every time an ally attacks, the wearer gains 1 stack of Cantillation. Each stack of Cantillation increases the wearer's energy regeneration by 3%, stacking up to 5 times, and when the wearer uses ultimate, removes Cantillation and gains Cadenza. Cadenza increases the wearer's attack by 48% and increases all allies damage dealt by 28% and increases all allies damage dealt by 24%, lasting for 1 turn. So this Lightcone provides you some energy regeneration rate that could stack for the times you do not have her ultimate up, which is going to be really good as she does have a quite steep requirement for her ultimate. And obviously when you do have downtime on the ultimate, you're missing on the big attack buff you do get for all allies. You're also missing on the physical additional damage. So the whole goal is to keep her in ultimate for as long as possible. And so not being in ultimate lets you gain the stack of Cantillation, which is going to benefit a lot as it does provide a bunch of ER that you can get, stacking up to 5 times, giving you up to a 15% in total. And then once you do get into ultimate, you'll remove those stacks and now you have a big attack increase for Robin, which is also going to be buffing your allies as well, since the buff is based off Robin's own attack. So the attack she does gain from this Lightcone is going to increase the buff she does give to everyone else, and on top of that will also give your allies even more damage dealt. So both giving her attack to increase her attack buff and also giving everyone free 24% damage dealt is very, very, very good, making this her best in slot option. Another great option is actually Brondia's signature Lightcone, which provides the wearer an energy regeneration rate of 10% and regenerates 1 skill point when the wearer uses their ultimate on an ally. That will trigger every 2 uses of the wearer's ultimate. When the wearer uses their skill, the next ally taking action except the wearer deals 30% more damage for 1 turn. So a lot of this Lightcone is sort of underutilized, but the fact it gives you energy regeneration rate is nice, and then that every time you do use the second ultimate, so the first time you use ultimate you get a skill point, then the next time you won't, and the time after that you will, well. This can help some skill point uses, especially in skill point hungry teams. And mainly in the beginning, when you do pop the skill the first time, if you have a proper tuned team or tuned in a specific way where the ally can get the buff, so in the beginning of the battle, it can still benefit a lot. But once again, it's mainly for the fact that this is a standard Lightcone. Potentially you might have some refinements on it if you fed it in. Not saying you should, but it could be a thing you already have. The energy regeneration rate is the main select point of this, and plus having a really nice base stats when you do have it leveled up, so the attack increase is going to be really good for the base stats, because that also gets amplified with the attack percent you're going to get from the relics and such, which again, higher attack will increase their ultimate buff. That, once again, plus the energy you do get is going to be really good. So despite not being able to fully utilize the Lightcone properly at every time, it's still a pretty viable option you can use. Although an overall better option you can use compared to Bronia's Lightcone is actually the free-to-play for Tomorrow's Journey Lightcone, which you can now also get from the Herder's Shop. Provides a 16% increase to attack, and after the wearer uses their ultimate, increases their damage by 18% for 1 turn. And S5 is a 32% attack increase and increases damage by 30%. So the reason this is good is, again, it'll be providing you with attack percent, which is going to further amplify the buff you do give to your allies when using your ultimate. And once you're in the ultimate, you get the damage dealt increase, which is actually good because it does actually increase the damage dealt that the physical additional damage will do. So the additional damage you are doing from the physical damage in her ultimate is going to be amplified by this damage dealt for that turn. So the attack percent increase, which will further increase your buff, and then also the damage dealt to increase the physical damage dealt in your ultimate, makes this another good option you can use. A situationally good Lightcone you can use is Poised to Bloom, and I say situationally, it's mainly if you are using her with someone like Sunday or Sparkle on the team. But what this Lightcone does is provide a 16% increased attack, and upon entering battle, if 2 or more characters follow the same path, then these characters' crit damage increases by 16%. Abilities of the same type cannot stack, and at S5 it's a 32% increase in attack and a 32% crit damage increase for the same types. So once again, this will mainly follow the 3 characters that can actually amplify their buff from crit damage, so that mainly being Sunday, Bronya, and Sparkle. And as there's a lot of prime teams of running Sunday and Robin, especially now, Robin with Sparkle is also common, Robin with Bronya is also pretty common. This Lightcone can be good as it once again provides crit damage to that character that's going to further amplify their buff. And on top of that, this Lightcone does give you a good attack increase as well, which is going to amplify Robin's own buff. So as this Lightcone is providing Robin herself more attack to increase her buff, it's also giving crit damage to someone like Sunday, who's now ultimate is going to increase the crit damage of the ally it chooses to buff even more, since now his crit damage is increased. Same thing applies to Sparkle, same thing applies to Bronya. And so if you are in the situations where you are running those teams together, then this can be an option you can use. And another pretty solid option is Meshing Cogs, which after the wearer uses an attack or gets hit, additionally regenerates 4 energy and cannot repeatedly trigger within a turn, and then at S5 it's 8 energy. Practically just good energy to get in uptime even when you're in ult or not, since when you're in ultimate you still can get attacked. If you get attacked, you can get more energy thanks to this Lightcone, which is going to be very beneficial for the times you do get outside of your ult. So once your ult does end, you're gonna have even more energy than you normally would, and so you can get the ult back faster and then reuse the ultimate, get the turn for your entire team again, and keep the buff active on your allies. So good Lightcone you can use for energy. Taking a look at the best relic sets for Robin. Overall, she's one of the characters where you actually don't really need to do a 4-piece set, and the actual best option is going to be running 2-piece of one of the attack percent increasing sets, and also running another 2-piece attack increasing set. So 2-piece Wind Soaring with 2-piece of the Dodge set, or 2-piece of one of those, and also doing 2-piece of Musketeers, as they all have the same attack percent increasing sets. Running 2-piece attack and 2-piece attack is her best option, but if you do want to do a 4-piece, then you would also do 4-piece of physical set, which 2-piece increases physical damage by 10%, and the 4-piece after the wearer attacks or is hit, then attack increases by 5% for the rest of the battle and stacks up to 5 times, giving you up to 25% attack. She is able to stack this up though, and the 2-piece physical will also increase her physical damage dealt, which is why it's another option you can use. So if you do want to use a 4-piece, the 4-piece physical set would be the only one you would use. You can also do something like 2-piece of one of the attack percent sets and 2-piece of the physical set, or you could also do 2-piece of one of the attack percent sets and do 2-piece of one of the speed sets, so Hacker Space or also the Relieved Ordeal set. You don't really need too much speed on Robin, but you do want to hit a certain threshold without using speed boots, so running 2-piece of one of the speed increasing sets can definitely help with that. So that's why running them isn't too bad of an idea. Take a look at the best Planar Ornaments. She does have quite the flexible options, but overall the best one you can use is Von Walk, as it provides a 5% increase in energy regeneration rate, and when the wearer's speed reaches 120 or higher, the wearer's action is advanced forward by 40% immediately upon entering battle. So as I was mentioning, without speed boots, you do want to hit 120 speed even if you're not using Von Walk. So even if you you aren't using Von Walk, you would reach for that 120 speed without speed boots, and so that lets you actually use Von Walk. And if you do use Von Walk, you get the 5% energy regeneration rate, and the extra action advance you do get here can help, since yes, she does get 25% in her base kit, so having 120 speed plus the 25% in the base kit does the trick a lot of the times. But there are times, especially now with how fast enemies are getting, with how fast our own units are getting, and how fast that other characters that might already have action forwarding things, there are times where Robin actually might not end up being the first one in battle, and you definitely want her to end up being the first one in battle, so Von Walk can further help with that. And once again, the 5% energy regeneration rate is very, very helpful, making this a great option to use. Another great option to use is Lushaka, as it also provides a 5% increase in energy regeneration rate, and if the wearer is not the first character in the team lineup, then increases the attack of the character in the team lineup that is positioned first by 12%. So if you are running her with a character that would benefit from the attack percent, which you will be, as her main buff from the ultimate is also attack percent, they'll be getting another 12% attack percent thanks to this ornament. And once again, 5% energy regeneration rate is going to be helping her herself, so overall a great option to buff your hyper carry a little more. Another fantastic option is Fleet of the Ageless, as it provides a 12% increase to max HP, so helping with survivability, and once the wearer does have 120 speed or higher, it gives everyone 8% attack. So this is great because it also does apply to her for the 8% attack, so not only are you giving everyone 8% attack, which is going to be benefiting your main DPS, giving her more attack is also going to amplify her buff by a little bit as well, which is overall the reason why Aegis is my favorite to run on Robin. It may not be much, but as it does amplify her all a little bit, plus giving 8% at base to your allies already, it adds up by a good amount, overall making Aegis another fantastic option. Another great option is running Broken Keel, as it provides a 10% increase to effect res, and when the wearer's effect res is at 30% or higher, all allies crit damage increases by 10%. So as this ornament already gives you almost half of the requirement already, hitting 30% effect res is going to be helpful, so the times you're not in ultimate where the chance you could still get CC'd, it's definitely going to be helping with that. And now you're giving everyone an additional 10% crit damage, so that's going to be nice for the hyper carry you are buffing, overall making this a great option as well. And if you are running her with another physical DPS, then the Penacony set is another option you can use, as it provides a 5% increase in energy regeneration rate and increases damage by 10% for all other allies that are the same type as the wearer. So as I mentioned, if you are running another physical DPS, which would be the only way to actually use the ornament properly, if you are running another physical DPS, then you can actually use Penacony for the extra 10% damage increase for that physical DPS as well, to help them deal even more damage. And on top of that, Robin herself gets the 5% energy regeneration rate, so that's going to be beneficial to her. So this is another option only if you are running another physical DPS. For the main stats on the relics, for the body, you want to have attack percent, for the feet, you want attack percent, for the orb, you want attack percent, and the link group, you want energy regeneration rate. For the substats, first you want to prioritize hitting 120 speed. That is going to be your first goal, since at 120 speed, usually she can outspeed your DPSs even if they have 160 speed. And if you're at the point where Robin doesn't outspeed your DPSs, then you'd want to add some more, so maybe getting to 125 and such. Past that, if you're running Broken Keel, then you want to hit 30% effect res, and then anything past that will be even more attack percent stats, because the more attack you do have, the more the buff will be, and anything past that will be survivability, so HP percent, defense percent, and so on. So once again, first prioritize speed, hit 120 or a little more if you're not outspeeding your team at the beginning of the battle. Then if you are running effect res, you would focus on hitting 30% effect res, and then past that would be more attack percent to increase the buff, and anything past that will be more survivability stats, so HP and defense. And yep, that is the full build guide for Robin. Once again, hope you guys found the video helpful. If you did, be sure to drop a like on the video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star Wars content. That's all I want to say. Peace out.